All right. Everyone, welcome to the Enter Shaolin Q&A for Tuesday nights. We're going live on YouTube on Enter Shaolin's YouTube channel for this Tuesday night one. And on Fridays, we are on Enter Tai Chi's channel. And we're also live on Zoom with some of our family members that are currently on. I see we got Bob, Scott, Stephen, and Jacob so far. So welcome. I know some people kind of come in towards the end. If you're on YouTube, make sure to give us a shout out. Let us know where you're coming in from. And if you have any questions, make sure to put it in the chat because Sifu Larry is going to make sure to take care of that and get it sent over to us, and we'll take care of you. I'm your host, CJ Jamie. I also have with us Sifu Fu. So say hi, Sifu Fu.
Hi, Sifu Fu.
There we go. And so if you have any questions about Kung Fu, obviously, martial arts, health and wellness, and anything within reason, we're here for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. Jacob says, thank you. Finally made one. And I would like to tell you guys, thanks. Your training has really helped make what I already know so much better. So thank you. We're so happy to be able to do that for you, Jacob. That's why I fought so long to be able to even have this site created, Enter Shaolin, and be able to do what we're doing, because I wanted to be able to get it into the hands of the people that were hungry to get something more out of their martial arts. And let's see, Bob says, hi, Al. Yes, I know I was supposed to, but it has been absolutely insane here and really, really busy. So it wasn't intentional. It's just that there was some other stuff that took precedence for our little meeting and stuff. So I'm actually was going to email you afterwards and let you know that I want to do one on Thursday with you. So long story short, we have a really cool video that we're going to be sharing with you guys towards the end of this webinar with a company called Security Umbrella that we are partnered with, and they've asked us to review their product and also do some lesson-based stuff with it. So it's basically a tactical umbrella. So we're going to share our first video in a series that we're going to be doing for them, and we'll also share an awesome coupon code for all of you people on YouTube. We also have a special coupon code for our family members, but they will not be saying it on this webinar. So that way only family members get it. So if you watch the video and you're interested and you're a family member, just make sure to email me at support@entershaolin.com, because I did secure an extra discount for family members. So I know you were just joking, Bob. I know, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's see here. All right, that's good. That's good. So I am going to go ahead and hop over to our email because we did have a question that came in. So let me pull that up. That was, let's see here. Okay, this is from Steven. He said, I'd like to know more on if we should be doing more of a Taoist breathing where you have the high in and abdomen moving inwards on inhale and on exhale, or a Buddhist breathing, normal breathing, inhale, stomach out, exhale, stomach in. I've heard Taoist breathing clears chi blockages and generates more power on exhale. Is Taoist breathing necessary? Does the normal Buddhist breathing accomplish the same? And is Taoist breathing needed for Fa Jing explosive power in Tai Chi?
Well, when I learned breathing, breathing is something we do naturally. It just, we have to learn to optimize that breathing while under pressure and motion.
Yes.
Breathing subconsciously goes with you. As your body requires more oxygen, more energy, you're going to actually breathe a specific way. Most of your breathing that you do for meditate, it's actually to relax you and calm you. And in doing so, you open more blood vessels and all that stuff. But in combat, it's really not that way.
Right.
It doesn't work. That, you know, it kind of like all goes out the window. You're not going to breathe and go and keep that. You're going to push harder to get more air, and you're going to require more oxygen the more energy you waste. Really, when you're talking about combat, it's how you move and control the energy in that that's going to help dictate your breathing. You can't breathe in and out through your nose the way you do in training in terms of exercising and building up energy as you in combat, because the amount of energy you need is going to be a lot faster. You're going to need a lot more when you're exerting your body. So you're not going to go, that's only to calm you down and open up the blood vessels, like I said, and allow the blood to flow. But in combat, you're not going to be able to keep that slow heart rate, that slow breathing. That's the training part. Just like how we do forms, we do it slow to feel the muscles, but you would fight that way. And definitely you wouldn't be breathing that slowly in combat. It's not going to happen that way. You're going to increase your heart rate. Your blood flow is going to go greater. The key to doing that is making sure that you optimize how you do your movements. So when you breathe, in combat, I breathe in and out through my mouth more. And you'll see that most people will when they exert more energy, because it's, your nasal passage is 2 small holes compared to 1 big hole in your mouth. You're going to put more air in and out through your mouth than you would when you breathe through your nose. Look at when you're sprinting. When people finish sprinting, they don't go, no, they go, they breathe through their mouth because they need that oxygen. You have to have it. There's no way you're going to say, I'm not going to take that oxygen and just slow it down. You have to learn to slow your heart rate down in order to slow the amount of breathing down you need for the oxygen intake. So the best thing to do is when you're training is learn how to put proper air pressure through your abdomen, like you're sneezing or coughing. We do that naturally. So when I'm hitting, it's small, so small, quick, and then relax between every time you relax the muscle, relax the body, and then when you have to exert, put pressure in your stomach, like you're about to take a punch in the stomach or something, or like when you cough or when you sneeze, you naturally do it, and you need to time that breath with your movement and get that right. And then that would be the best way to do it. All the other, like I said, the type of breathing I learned, I've learned to go from, like, there are 2 cycles I've learned from my teacher. He said, you pick one, you stick to the one. You don't try to reverse it at all. It actually hurts you more than it helps you. So you can take air in through your nose, up towards your head, down your spine, towards your lower stomach, your dantian, bring it up through the body and out through the nose or the mouth. Or you can go the opposite way. Whichever way you pick, that's the one you should stick with the rest of your life. You shouldn't try to change it. Like my teacher told me, just pick one, stick to one. If you're wondering which one I took the one for the back, spine, abdominal, and up and out through my throat to my nose. That's the way I cycle my breathing, my energy. But I don't go the other way. He said, it doesn't help you to do the other way. I was like, well, what if I tried to? He's like, listen, there's no reason for you to go. You just need one. That's all you need. And if you try to go up, you're naturally not letting your body create this natural cycle. You have to force it. So it's not going to be helpful. So you pick one, you stick one, and you just do that the rest of your life. But, in combat, I control the breathing through my abdomen, it's not through my chest. So if I breathe, it's here. I use my chest to create pressure when I'm doing for constricting type of motions, but I don't do it for breathing. Apart from that, you're supposed to breathe through your abdominals, and that's where you want to control that. But most importantly, the breathing is to help exert the energy. We create pressure to create force. So we can exert the energy out through our arms or legs or whatever we're trying to do that helps push the energy in our body. So it's really knowing how to create the timing in it that helps you, not necessarily the method, like, up here. Because like I said, go do that in combat, you're going to see it's going to go out the window. What you want to do is train the muscles to match your movement, and that won't go out the window. That becomes a second nature to you. So that's really the more important one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't have to do with anything with being a Taoist or anything like that. People have been breathing properly since we were created. A lot of us lose it. So I like to tell people, like, observe a baby. How does a baby breathe? You see them breathe through their abdominal. It goes up and down, up and down. It's as we age and we start, getting all distracted and stuff, that the majority of us stop breathing properly. So it's nothing new under the sun. It's not a Taoist thing or this thing or that thing. Just proper breathing mechanics, period, end of story.
Most of the reason why you start breathing improperly is because of the way your life situation creates stress, your posture, all that. Because if you watch an adult sleep while they're lying in the bed, you'll see that they'll actually breathe through their stomach more. Yeah. If they breathe through the chest, it's because they create improper posture when they sleep. Like, for example, if you like to hug and hold your pillow and crunch yourself down, that's not properly. You wind up tossing and turning through the night if you do that. But you want to have a proper posture, like lying on a firm mattress, and getting your head level to have your body. You'll find that you breathe through your belly, not through your chest.
Yeah. Just be really good about correcting yourself throughout the day. Just like, as you're, at work or making dinner or driving, just do a self check. Like, am I breathing properly right now? And the more you become aware of it, sooner and faster you'll fix it and correct it and stuff. And over time, you won't have to keep reminding yourself. It'll just become natural again, like it was when you were a baby. So Cardin says, for someone who doesn't have a background in martial arts, do you recommend sticking to the 101 lesson plan for the full 52 weeks before exploring the other lessons? I know what my thoughts are on that, but Sifu, go ahead.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to train. So, if you're trying to do for health and like this, I would say focus on the Tai Chi. If that's your focus. Everybody who comes in goes, what do you think I should train on? I always say I ask them one thing.
What's
and then based on that answer is how I tell them what they need to train on. And that's the same. What's your purpose of training? Are you doing it for the health? Are you doing it for martial arts? Are you doing it for both? Are you doing it for defense? Are you doing it to get in shape? And if some people say all of it, and I say, then you can take all of them. But NDN 101 course is very, very good. It gives you the fundamentals.
Get the basics that you need for that first year.
Huh?
Yeah. As it gives them the basics that they need for that first year.
Yes. So it's good for that. But like I said, if you're saying, I really want to learn energy movement, how to breathe and this and that, you may not want to be the combat. I'm not really wanting to do the combat. I just want to feel the energy. Well, the 101 course does have that. So it's like we Untitled 101 to have kind of encompass everything for you. The physicality, the health control, the energy, the combat, light stuff. So that's really good overall. If you want to see what we're all about, to feel what we're all about and the basis of everything, that's a great thing to do. But if you're like, I really don't want combat, I just want to do the health thing, I'm really not going to fight anymore like that, I would say go to the Tai Chi courses and learn that. If you say, I really want to get into I want combat, and I would say go into the ND101 course and look up the Wing Chun and look up China. These are all combat effective techniques. So it just depends on your reasoning. But 101 is very, very good because we did take every aspect of what people are kind of looking for, whether it be the
first year. It literally is like to help you be better mind, body, and spirit. So you're going to get a little bit of combat. You're going to get a little bit of core training to work on your body and everything. Your body mechanics. You're going to get the basics of the No Deck Na fundamentals, what you need for the energy principles to understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're going to get the basics of Qigong. So it's going to help you with your health, your vitality, and increasing your Qi. And you also learn some of the basics of Qin Na, as well as some partner drills, though there's not as much partner drills in the 101 because we know a lot of people don't have partners. So there's a lot of solo training throughout it too, but there are some partner stuff too, I think towards the end of it as well, all to kind of wrap it around to help it make all sense. But Cardin, we do orientation for all of our members. So when you joined, we did send you out a welcome email and some emails about how to get the most out of your membership. And I know we haven't done one with you yet. So if you want to set up an orientation, just email me at support@innershaolin.com and I'll take care of you. And we'll get you set up because it does really depend on what are you looking to do. Because I know most people, if they come to us and they're like, I'm just looking like for all over, I want to do the combat side. I want the health and wellness. Then I say, primarily use the 101 as your syllabus. And then if you have more time and you're a junior member or above and you have access to the training hall, then you can also do things like the Wing Chun. I would recommend doing your Sim Tao and getting that really honed in for your first year. I'd also recommend, depending on what your goals are with your body, I might recommend some specific things in the core training in addition to what the 101 has. And then I definitely would recommend at least getting down your first third of Tai Chi. And that will help you be well-rounded. But then if someone, like Sifu said, is like, I'm just here, I really want the health and wellness, then I'm going to concentrate more on more stuff in the Qigong, the advanced stuff, and Qigong, as well as the basics that they learn in the 101, the Tai Chi, obviously, in the core training. So hopefully that helps you, brother. And definitely, if you want, set up an orientation and we can go further into detail with your personal goals. Hey, Dominic, how's it going? Hey, Rick. Hey, Tempa. Let's see. We also have Albin, Jacob, Paul, Bob, Scott, and Steven on as well. So I think that is everyone. And then obviously Cardin, who we just talked to a second ago. And let's see here. This is from Jacob. Jacob says, I've trained at some schools that teach you to yell with a strike to make it hit harder. Does the yell really matter, or can the same force be achieved by exhaling hard without the yell? Great question, Jacob.
Yes, you can achieve it without the yell. You don't have to yell. Can if you want to. You don't have to. I've heard like in karate schools, they say you yell for the purpose of getting the power, but it also draws attention. So if someone's trying to attack you, yeah, you people can hear that, so they can, everyone's going to have a reason. They're going to say this, they're going to say that, and that's fine. But it is not necessary, if that's the question. It is not necessary to yell to generate power. Look at boxing. Look at Muay Thai. Even look at MMA. How many of them you ever hear yell when they hit? But they can hit hard. So you don't have to hit with a yell. That's not necessary. It's more traditional than it is necessity in the world of karate. You don't need to yell. Lots of styles do not yell. Look at Kali. Look at look at judo, jiu-jitsu. How many people have you seen grappling yell to get power? You don't need to. It's not necessary. It's redundantly. It's just redundant. You're doing it just to do it. You don't need it at all. But good question though.
Yeah, you really don't. And if you look at just even like people that meditate and stuff, how you can get like a really, really like deep breath without having to yell or anything like that. Like there's different ways that you can move the energy and kind of like almost huff it out, you know what I mean? And get that same effect as that yell. Now I will say though, if you were like in an everyday fighting scenario and you let out one of those crazy like yells and stuff, that does kind of like mess with people's minds. So there is a little mind game there going on.
Yeah, but like I said, that's not
power. Yeah, you don't have to do the generate power.
It's
but that will mess with some people's brains. Okay, so
if you're a crazy guy yelling, the guy can either be like punch you in the head and say shut up and hit you, or he's gonna be like, this guy's crazy, whacked out, and
right, like never mind, I don't want none of this. But yeah, it could work if you do it right.
Power. You do not need to yell for that purpose.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So Samsung, Scott says, Sifu Fu, I know in some of the different videos you mentioned in your earlier training, you didn't have a partner, so you practice on your own a lot. Even now he still practices a lot, just because we'll talk about that in a moment, but he says, did you find it just as beneficial by yourself as having a partner?
Listen, it comes down to proper training. It doesn't matter if you have a partner or by yourself. It depends on how you train. You can train where you can muscle everything and with a partner or without a partner. The key is getting the proper training, knowing how to train properly. Really, for me, having a partner was to test out what my training was. That's what it was really for. I did a lot of training to feel energy, and that's where I am today. I can feel my wrist. I know how to send the energy in my wrist. And then I would practice finding how to connect to someone. When they did it, I would concentrate and try to how to get to the wrist. Having a partner is great because it's teaching you how to do what you do, your technique, whatever it is you're practicing, and see if you can handle it under pressure. And that's what it comes down to. Can you do it under pressure? I mean, techniques do work. I always say, and I'm not going to say all techniques. It just depends on the technique. But if a technique is supposed to be very, very good and you don't do it right, it's not because the technique failed you. It's you failed the technique. You got to remember that. And how do you know what technique is good and what technique is bad? For me, the answer is you should be able to do the technique without having to strain. You can feel stressed to do techniques, but you should not have to strain to do techniques. If you are straining to make the technique work, then you're compensating for lack of skill somewhere. I always tell my students, what you lack in skill, you make up in strength. So if you're not getting the technique by just moving into it, sliding into it, turning into it, whatever it is you're doing, then it's off somewhere. And so you really got to refine how to do it. One of the things I always do is like reverse wrist lock. I've had a lot of people do reverse wrist locks. And I had a Kempo guy come in, Krav Maga guy come in. These are masters, they're teachers themselves. And in the end, they try to wrist lock me and they can't. And it's not because I fight them. I show them their imbalance. I said, take me down. Do whatever you can. I let them do what they can. I said, take me down here, take me down there, whatever you want to do apart from hitting me, because I'm not defending myself and counterattacking you and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to create harm on them. I'm just trying to see if they can lock me. And they can't. I show them their weakness. I show them where they show an opening or they're creating too much committed energy one way. And then when I locked them, I said, fight me all you want And I do it. I take them down very, very easy, effortless. And then I tell them, listen, I'll count to 3, and I won't even do it fast. And so they know and they still can't do it. They can't stop me from locking them, because it's not about fighting their strength. It's about converting the energy behind it. And that's what we really, really, really focus on. How to control the energy. That's really, by the end of the day, that's what you're doing. That's how you can tell if your techniques are good or bad, by learning how to do the movement through the feel and through the flow of energy, not through the force and the strength of it. And that's really what you want to do.
Right. And the reality is, you all need to realize that 2/3 of your training can be done solo. And so even if you're a seasoned martial artist and you could have all the training partners in the world, there's still a lot of stuff that you should be doing solo. It's really those things that you're willing to do and go the extra mile when no one else is around, when, there's no one to push you and drive you. That's the stuff that makes the difference, folks. Because even Sifu Larry will tell you, Sifu Fu will tell you, they still do a lot of their training solo, even to this day, even though they can technically do all their training with a training partner. It's that 1/3, that sensitivity that you need a partner for. So if you're, I know the person that asked this, they're already a member and stuff like that, so this is irrelevant for them. But I know a lot of people let this one thing really trip them up from starting something like Enter Shaolin or any other martial arts program for that matter. Oh, I don't have a partner. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, what about all the stuff that you can do in the meantime? And while you're building yourself up and you start sharing your personal journey and people start seeing a difference in you, you will naturally attract partners to you in some way, shape, or form. And if you're a member to Enter Shaolin, we'll even do our best to help you find a matchup too as well. So, but yeah, don't let not having a partner, keep you from starting your martial arts journey. That's what I wanted to really hit home on. And let's see, Cardin says, for someone who doesn't have a background in martial arts, okay, we already answered that one. I guess I didn't see that. Sifu Larry sent that one over after I saw it in the thing. So Scott also says, Sifu Fu, who are some of your influences in martial arts growing up? Oh, that's a good question.
Growing up, I love Donnie Yen. I think Donnie Yen is an amazing, amazing martial artist. You can see how he moves. He's very controlled. He's very precise. He's very sharp. A lot of people loved Jet Li, and I respect him too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's nobody. He's very good in his own right as well. But I just gravitated towards Donnie Yen more. I like Bruce Lee too. I very, very respected him for his thinking, his looking outside the box type of thing. He didn't get stuck by saying this has to be the way or that had to be the way. He found ways to make it work when it couldn't work. He would always refine himself. That's why Jeet Kune Do is always changing. He would always try to find ways to improve himself. And he was one of those guys who thought, beyond what the normal thinking was at the time. Now today, which is why they call Bruce Lee the father of MMA, because the concept of MMA is the same idea. But, MMA today is not the same concept as Bruce Lee talked about. Because MMA now is Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. It's nothing outside that for the majority of the part. Most people, when they do MMA, you go to almost any school. That's what they're going to teach you, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Those are the main thing of MMA today. Now you might go to school and say, well, my teacher doesn't just teach that. He teaches, and that's fine. But I'm saying the majority of MMA today is Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu as their main core training in MMA. They don't do, here's a technique from Aikido that works really, really well, and that's what we're going to do as well. We incorporate this from the Filipino arts of Kali. It's very rare you find teachers that do MMA outside of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and boxing. They are the main core drive behind MMA today. So the concept has been changed, because Bruce Lee didn't say use these 4. He said use what works from any system. And MMA kind of just said this is it. This is what we're gearing towards. Jiu-Jitsu mainly. In MMA, you pretty much find Jiu-Jitsu in all MMA, and then Muay Thai. And I said, depending on the person that you learn from, it could be boxing, it could be wrestling, a little bit of both. Some people do shoot fighting, which is a kind of combination of like boxing and wrestling. So those are the people I really respected. Like I said, Donnie Yen is the guy I respected. I admired him for how he really showed the expression of movement. And Bruce Lee with his thinking. So those were who I really, really like. I really enjoy watching Jet Li too. I mean, he was very, very good in the movies. He had a good personality as an actor. So I really enjoy watching him too. But he wasn't my inspiration to become better as a martial artist. It was that refinement, what Donnie Yen does, and how when he moved, it's like he moves bah, bah, right to point, like everything is control, as opposed to like going like where everything's all this big movement. Donnie Yen, if you watch him Yip Mount, can move very, very precise. He's very, very sharp. And it's not movie thing he does. That's what he does in real life. That's how he moves. I've seen in videos where it's not movies. When he demonstrates, that's how he moves. He's like, on camera, it's like he's actually slowing down because he's that much faster than he is in real life. And he was the guy I would say I respected the most in terms of fame. Now, I respected my grandfather too, don't get me wrong. But in terms of people that everyone can relate, Donnie Yen is the one I really, really admire.
All right, Sifu Leary, I'm calling you out. I want to know who was some of your influences in martial arts growing up?
Me.
Yes, you.
No, me.
Oh. Is that head a little big?
Influences? Well, since I can remember watching television, from a young kid, maybe even 4, I was watching martial art movies with my father.
Yeah.
And so I would have to say, as far as influence is concerned, almost everything. I've watched so many different martial art movies, and I've liked so many actors, and I've liked so many martial artists. I don't have a favorite. I try to learn a little bit.
Well, no, like give us a couple.
Like Benny the Jet, Superfoot Wallace, those type of guys.
Don't forget me. No.
Sifu's all right.
After he kicked your butt. But that was before his younger years. We're talking about when he was a kid.
I'm starting at the early wee age. And my dad was always doing some form of martial arts with me. He was in the military, so he traveled a lot. And when he was in Hawaii, a lot of my relatives are into martial arts. So he was always showing me different techniques from different styles and different things that he did. Ironically, he kind of was doing what Bruce Lee was doing, but I think he was doing it on his own. He was just using all different types of martial art and styles into his own style. I think Bruce Lee had an idea that maybe was going around quietly in that whole generation of people. He was just the most expressive person about it. And then, Sifu beat me up, and I'm like, whoa, dude, he's a Kung Fu movie beating me up. And then so I had to like some Kung Fu. How's that?
All right, that's awesome.
And karate. I mean, I trained in karate. I trained in a little bit of judo, kickboxing and stuff like that when I was young. But really what that meant was I was able to take a punch in the face and get back up and punch some more and kick.
Oh, that's a good skill to have.
Right.
So let's see. Scott says, awesome. If I'm training by myself, I get more intense training. That's very cool. And he says, I also truly admire the 3 of you. Honestly, I really look up to you, Sifu Fu. I hope one day with good and proper training, I could be 1/3 as good as you. You're totally awesome.
Well, thank you.
And let's see here. So we got that one taken care of. So DJ wants to know, hi, everyone. How do you stay calm, cool, and collected when you know you have to defend yourself?
Well, first off, beat them in the mind first. Like, keep your mental cool. I tell people all the time, I tell my students all the time, you know what your first weapon is? It's your brain. It's this. Outwit them. Outsmart them. Be in control of your mind. So what they say to you, you say back in a more advanced way that it gets to them first. And just remember, in my head, I tell myself, get ready to strike first. Get ready to strike first. I'm not here to defend. If I'm defending, I'm going to think I can get hurt. I go for the hit. And I tell my students all the time, you have to have a mental state that says, I'm willing to take a 10-pound hit to give a 500-pound hit. That's what you have to put in your head. If you start thinking, I don't want to get hit, I don't want to get hit, you're going to start to defend. You're going to start to try not to get hit, and you won't be attacking. It's one or the other. You don't defend, and you can't attack. If you go in defense mode, you're going to block. You want to go to the attack mode to attack. If you go into the block mode, it's hard to attack at the same time. Okay, so you got to put in your head like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch in my head. The few fights I got, I actually just stay calm. I said, listen, I don't want any problems. I put my hands up in front of me. I'm watching for the body language to tell me when he's going to hit, whether he shifts his weight, how he turns his body, and I get ready for the attack. I mean, I go for first strike. I take preemptive. As soon as I get that sign that there's going to be an incident, I go for the attack. I go right on in. I just shoot straight in with my hands or my feet, depending on the range that I have with my target. And I'll go for a shuffle side kick if I'm very far. I go a front kick where I'm far. And if I'm very within the one-step range kick, one step to get the hit in, then I'll do that. But my mindset is just shut down. Don't get emotional. Say the words you got to say. Then just calm down and watch his response and wait for that body language to tell you when he commits his weight or when he's going to shrug his shoulders, when he pulls away, and then go straight on in for the hit. Like I said, don't be afraid of the hit, because if you do, you're going to try to block first. Put it in a mental game, pretending as a knife, and you got a gun. He pulls out the knife to come stab you. Are you going to try to block the knife first, or are you going to pull your gun out and shoot him first? The reason why in your head you think to shoot him, because your belief is that bullet would do enough damage to stop him. Now, if I say, hey, it's a water gun, you're going to be like, you're going to get back and try to squirt him. You're not going to try and stand there because you don't believe it's going to be enough to stop him. So you have to train. I always tell the students, no matter what style you take, if you don't develop the power to do the damage you need to do, you're wasting your time training that art. It's pretty much that's it. To stop a guy, it's three things a person will stop for. Knock them out, lock them out, or they get what they want. Now, if they're trying to kill you and trying to hurt you really badly, obviously we want that. If they want your money, just give it to them and they go, and that's fine. But you have to go on the basis of either knocking them out or locking them out. Locking them out takes more. It requires you to get in there, and tangle with them and then get a lock in. Take them to the ground, do this, and roll around. If you're out in the street and he's got a friend, it's a bad place to be in. The fastest and most effective way is learning how to knock him out, get the power. But that comes down to training. That's what you need to train for.
Yeah, what he said. But I want to, so first, interesting story. Sifu made me think about it when he was talking. Years ago when I started working on sensitivity, I used to get really, really frustrated, man, because Sifu would shut me down really, really fast over and over and over and over and over and over. And I would just get angry and angry and angry. And I didn't keep doing, man. I can't get anywhere. You just keep shutting me down and beating me up. And he's like, dude, I'm training you to respond in 0.5 of a second. I went home and I got a stop clock and I timed 0.5 of it. I'm like, come on, dude, who can actually feel at 0.5 of a second? That's ridiculous. So over the years, as I trained, I trained on my response time when I felt contact to a person. And what I noticed, because I was getting beat up so fast by Sifu, that he was making me feel faster and faster and faster and faster. And now when I launch into, like Sifu says, like a counter attack or a counter offensive attack, I can feel what's going on so fast. Mm-hmm. It's rarely. All right, Sifu. So if I play with Sifu, he hurts me still, but I don't run across people who actually can move as fast as I move. When I decide that I'm going to be, if I'm playing really defensive and letting somebody train, that's a different story. They're feeling energy, they're getting warmed up. But if I just attack on what I feel really fast, I don't really come across people who handle that kind of pressure at that speed. Now, with that said, I had a real big problem, and I guess everybody has this problem, especially a person who's never been in a fight and has never actually had to deal with that situation. What I noticed from doing a few different things, I noticed when I did public speaking for longer than 5 minutes, or I was getting ready to perform in front of people if I was playing a musical instrument, or if I was getting ready to get into a fight, there's this feeling of uneasiness and butterflies and nervousness and fear.
Anticipation you have,
Yeah. Why you cut me off, man?
Filling in that little void you have, trying to get the word out.
You weren't quite fast.
Yeah. I was too slow. Duh. So that feeling is the same. Like if getting ready to fight someone almost feels like I'm getting ready to do public speaking. It's that same fear of the unknown. Well, what I've learned to do is focus my mind on my breathing and just worry about what I feel. And so I don't have time to think about the dude's bigger than me or I might die. I'm too busy trying to focus on not worrying about that stuff because that's what's going to make me afraid and make me flinch. And then I counter offensively attack the person with a free mind. So the takeaway is you really got to get control of your breathing. If you start hyperventilating, you're just going to panic, and panic is bad. So if all you can do is go like this, and that's the best you can do, at least it's something better than standing there getting clobbered in the face, which I have actually seen people just go.
If you do this, go forward, go forward, go forward. Okay, don't do what he just did. He was going backwards. You're gonna get hit. At least if you're gonna do the flailing, go forward with your energy. Okay, get that weight in those hands and that wrist. But all right, so. The biggest thing, like they were saying, it definitely is mindset. And how do you prepare for that? Well, you train on controlling your breathing, and Qigong, Tai Chi help with that. Also training with, if you do have a partner, if you can ask them, over time to keep increasing the pressure and the intensity, like Sifu Larry does with me on an ongoing basis. Just when you think like, you're like, all right, I'm kind of getting somewhere, he'll always like turn it up a notch on me. And it definitely helps you to prepare for that and get over it. Cause it really is a mindset. Like Sifu Larry is saying, like if you're afraid of public speaking and stuff like that, it's all in your mind. All of it's in your mind. So if you're already psyching yourself out, of course you're going to freak out. You're going to panic. You're going to lose your breath. So we don't want that for you. We want you to be in control of your emotions and control of your breath, so you can make sure to perform and allow your body to do what it needs to do.
Yeah, I like I said, I empty my mind and I observe. I calm myself down. I say what I say, put that in their head, and get that response, and I empty out and I just look at that point in which I know when I can attack.
You have to literally just be in that moment, just literally. Be in that moment.
I don't think if you start to think, if he throws a straight punch, I'll do this. If he does a hook punch, I'll do this. If he tries to grab me, I'll do this. There's that saying, paralysis from analysis. Too much can cause you to not be able to do. And I always like to say, if you think you stink, okay,
right.
You have to feel the deal to make them squeal. That's what I like to say, So you got to empty out. Don't start thinking too much because it's going to delay you, okay? And you got to just, I go into observe mode. I watch for body language. I look at the shifting. I look at the body, look at the eyes. I see everything off the side. I slightly look away and I pick up everything from that. And like I said, as soon as I can see him within that range of attack, whether it be a kick or a punch or whatever it is I'm doing, I go for it. So if it's very, very far and I know the body language, like I said, I know my range in where I am. So right away, I know just consciously, if he's very far away, it's a shuffle side kick. If he's kind of close to me, I do a front kick. If he gets real, like I can see the body language, when I cup in real close within striking range with my hands, then I go for the snapshot straight up forward to the face. That's how I go into it. I just go straight for the attack. I'm not here to defend. I'm not here to not get hurt. I'm here to hurt. I'm not here to get out of danger. I am the danger. That's why I tell my students, don't think like you got to get out of danger, be the danger. Don't think defensive, think counteroffensive or think offensive. Put in your head, light hit for hard hit. Give him so he can hit you lightly, but you can hit him hard. Make the exchange, but don't think in your head, I should not get into a fight where I can't get touched. Okay, nobody in the world is like that. You're going to get hit maybe, and sometimes you don't get hit, but you got to have that approach where your mindset is, it's okay if I do get hit. Because if you put, I can't get hit, you're going to do everything you can to play defensive, and you can't play the way. That's how you lose.
And we don't want you to lose.
One of the things when I grapple, people start, when I do like grappling, one of the things I do that's very different from everyone, if they're busy doing something like they're trying to get my arm, I'll base it, I'll lock it on point, and I'm going to strike them like their body, or I'll go for a leg lock or whatever it is I'm doing at the moment. And then I put them defensive because it hurts them. If I hit the ribs, they feel it. Like, and they'll go to the rib. As soon as they bring their energy there, my hand goes up and gets to the neck. If they try to base up the neck, I channel up and they go for the hit. So I will play off of them to find the way to get the attack, not to stop them from attacking me. I use their attack or the defensive play to find the counterattack, not to find the defensive, how to stop and prevent him from coming in. I say, if he comes in, I'm going to use that to hurt him with it. So that's the way we train, how to turn energy back to the opponent. We're not trying to isolate them so they can't move or can't do this. We want them to do it. So when they do it, it hurts them to do it. And that's our mindset, our gameplay. That's how we focus on how we deal with energy and stuff like that. all the time. That's
sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, that was all good information. So hopefully that helps you to be able to figure out, oh, I didn't realize that was going to autoplay on me. Sorry about that. So one of the things that I want to share before we wrap up here in a couple minutes is a new video that we have out for the security umbrella, but we're going to answer a couple more questions before we get to that. So just hold on, everyone that is waiting for that. Let's see. Larry, who is this high seafood when training by oneself? Any advice on suggestions for footwork? Who's that from?
That's Tempa.
Tempa? Okay. So Tempa asked, hi, Sifu, when training by oneself, any advice and suggestions for footwork techniques, skills, and dealing with multiple attackers?
When we talk about footwork, really the main key is getting your core and connection to that core. Your feet turn because of your waist don't turn because of your feet. So really what you want to make sure is your core is right and your footwork would naturally fix itself. So don't think about the feet, think about your core, because it doesn't matter how good your footwork is. If you're leaning and your footwork's good, you're still going to feel like you're going to fall. One of the ways you can test and see why footwork is not as relevant as the core is stand on one leg. And I do this to all my students. I tell you, stand on one leg and have someone, like I would just push you backwards. And you'll find that your feet naturally find center for you. When you step backwards, your feet find the point position and it keeps you stable as long as your body is right. But when I push you where I make your shoulders go past your hips, you're going to land your foot naturally where it should be centered, but your shoulder keeps going. You're going to want to fall backwards even more. And you'll stumble to get that step to recover, as opposed to just stepping and staying on. Your footwork is not as important as your core work, let's say, your waist. When you walk, right, nobody walks, turns their foot, then their body. They plant their foot, turn their hips, and then the foot turns because of that. If you watch the anatomy of how the body works, you're not going to walk, turn your foot, then your body turns. You walk, plant your foot here on one side, use your hip to turn, and then your foot turns with it to gain that center to find it. So really, the footwork is not as relevant as learning the core work. The core is more important than the footwork. I'm not saying, hey, there's no such thing as footwork. Yes, there's footwork, but that footwork works because of the waist, not because of the feet, not because of the toes or the ankles. It works because of the hips. Same thing when we do our arms, you know. Our first drive in 3-proof is the shoulder to the elbow. It's not the wrist. It comes out to the wrist in the end, and that's our control. Same thing. My waist is my movement. My foot is my control once it lands, but it's not my initial energy. My initial energy comes from my waist, and the final expression of that energy comes down to the foot when you do the footwork. My initial energy comes from my shoulder, my core, and final energy comes out to the wrist. And that's the same thing. It works the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people get really caught up on the footwork thing, and it really isn't about that. You know, it's about being rooted. It's about being balanced, about having your proper posture. It's about all about the core. And also, I'll take it even a step further. It's also about being just aware of the energy and people around you and stuff like that. And that goes through your sensitivity training, and even like the solo training through Tai Chi and even Qigong, help you to feel that energy and cultivate it and stuff. It's just going to help you to be more present and aware of your surroundings, and all these things combined make it where you're not going to be thinking about. Imagine if you there's just no specific, like if we said, okay, this is exactly how you're going to deal with every multiple attacker, like it would be a lie, because it's just, you're never going to know. Every scenario is going to be different. So there's no footwork. It's mind work. It's body work. It's your proper training and stuff that's going to prepare you for that scenario, and not a specific sequence. It's a whole all around approach. So don't freak out and don't overthink things and don't worry about it. Cause like Sifu said, if you do that test, you stand on one leg, someone pushes you over, you're going to naturally catch yourself and find it. And if you don't, then you really need to start doing that Qigong and Tai Chi, because your balance is really off and you need to work on that. But most people, they will automatically find themselves right away. So let's see. Samsung, AKA Scott, says, Sifu Fu, how big a part is the Mukjang in your day-to-day solo training?
Well, when I was in college, Mukjang was a big thing. I loved hitting it. To be able to hit that jang was awesome. I just loved the feel of it, and I was able to test my structure through it. I was able to test my control out of it. So the jog did play a lot in allowing me to really, really find my control. And how I knew I was doing really, really well or getting it down was I was able to hit harder and not feel any pain. I was able to hit it fast and stay in the same precision. And that impact, the jog was moving, like almost like coming off the wall. Like I could hit into it so hard, and there was no feedback into my body, which was a good sign then, because if you have a feedback, it means you're going against it and you're not curving into it. So if you're slamming straight into it, you're going to feel your arms start to hurt after a while because you're actually going straight against it. The curve of gun style is a slight rise elbow to wrist. When you hit, the arm should go up to the corners. That's why we have these corners in the jog. They're there to hear, so you can hear the sound and how you hit. And I did videos on that and why, how you want to hit and project the energy in the arm, stuff like that. So the jog played a very, very good time for my training. I used a lot of jog training. Again, I didn't have a partner, so to put pressure on to something. Well, don't forget, I didn't just do jog. I hit trees, I hit doors, I hit walls, I hit corners and things. I do a lot of stuff without the jog. But when I had gotten the jog, I did a lot of jog training. I really loved hitting it. And it was not saying it's because of the jog, that's why I'm good. It's because of the dedication and commitment I had to practice. That's what made me good at what I do. Not because of the jog. The jog was just one of the tools that I used to get me there. But it was just one of those things I love to hit. I love the feeling of it. I love the movement and what I can do with it. So it was just overall one of the things I like to do, hitting. But I hit trees. I used to have a tree that I hit, and it had like the barks all moved out because of all the hitting for all the time that I hit it. It has slight indentation there from that. But again, it was just practice doing it. And I had walls. Now I don't even hit sheetrock. When I hit sheetrock, I can put a hole right through it without even trying. I did a video with Seafood Larry's school. I just put the pressure lightly, and I got a little dent. I'm like, crap! I'm like, there's weak walls here. I mean, should have got 1 inch thick sheetrock. Maybe it was like only a 1/4 inch. I don't know, but it just dented. And just from the years and years and years of practicing how to punch, And if you ask, if I had to practice one technique, I mean, just one technique, you can say that I need to practice more than anything else, is the punch. Because that's what's going to end the fight. Not the block, not the footwork, not this. Just get your snap. Boom! Straight out to the face. That's the one thing you have to practice. One technique. Just get that hit. Get that straight line hit. Get that fast, focused, furious strike on the opponent. That's it.
Right on, right on. All right. So one more question before we share our tactical umbrella video and a special offer to all of our awesome people on here. So Jacob says, how would you handle sparring/fighting with someone who is good at closing/staying in close and has fast punches?
Use a knife or a gun. No, I'm kidding. At close range, okay, there are points of control: neck, shoulder, elbows, and forearms when it comes to the arm, not the legs. I'm not talking about the legs now. If you're close quarter, you need to stay in and hit those control points. Have forward pressure, have forward intent, never defend and pull away. Watch your body language in terms of when I'm moving, let's say, if he's pushing into me, I am not moving away from him. I'm turning into him. So that turning makes me yield, but I turn and I yield so I can take. I don't turn so I can evade. I turn so I can invade. You have to have your mindset that I'm always finding a way to make a counter strike or an initial strike. It's not defending. Once you put yourself in defense mode, you're allowing his energy to come to you. You got to put it towards him. Now, whether it be the face or the body, it doesn't matter. You can put it in the arm. When a guy's hands are tight to you, like, for example, someone's arm's here and you're on him, it's not you're here trying to move him. It's press into him and put that pressure and then get the strike. Find a way to get that strike back. If you're going to let him dictate the energy and striking you, even your question has fast punches, that means that you're allowing him to hit you. You got to intercept that. For example, he throws a fast punch, hit the arm down and go in for the strike. Don't hit the arm and move away. You're allowing the next shot to come in on you. Hit the arm, move in. Don't be afraid of getting the shot. Take the 10-pound hit for a 500-pound hit. That's what I always tell people. Take the light hit, intercept, interrupt his punch so it becomes like a graze to you when you can use that hit to come in for a hard one. You got to focus on that power to get the hit And the power and the hit, remember, is not necessarily always to the face of the body. It can be hit to the arms. It can hit the shoulders. So if someone's on me, I could hit into here and hit that down and go up to the face. So you got to think, everything you touch is a damage somewhere to hit, to control the point, and never for the motion. Don't try to go pushing him to get away. Hit him and make his arm fly away. So that way, when he flies away, you hit him and he flies the opposite way as well. So that's what you got to put in your head. That's what you got to do. Find your control points. Neck, shoulder, arm belong the elbow to the forearm. These are your points when you're tight. You got to get into that, got to control that, whether it be your hand, the arm, your whatever. But you have to have forward intent to do that. You have to control the point, never the motion. These are the things that you want to keep in mind. But then there's a practice. I mean, concept is one thing, application is another. To lose weight, I have to burn more calories than I consume. The question is how. I mean, anyone can get a general knowledge. That's just general stuff. But that's the point of reference in which you got to learn to get that specific technique and how to do it. And how do you do it with your arm? 3 proof. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, turn to point. That's how we learn to do it. Now you just got to practice that.
Now you just got to practice that. That's right. So one more question came through. I want to go ahead and take care of Tempa. Tempa says, how do you all use heavy bag in training like the Mook Jong? Or sorry, do you all use a heavy bag in training like the Mook Jong?
Yes. One of the other things I trained in was a heavy bag. I love hitting the heavy bag because especially the ones that can spin, because you can actually read how well you land the punch. Because if you're hitting when you do this and the bag spins, it means you're grazing. You're not landing in. One of the things I always practice was like hitting it so I get it so it would not spin at all. So that tells me I hit flush. It went into the bag and it did not have any motion left or right to it. So that was one thing. And we have videos on that too. We have videos on the heavy bag, how to train and what to look for in it. Because any sliding of your hand and the bag spinning is a sign that you grazed the hit. You did not inject the hit. The bag is great too. Like one of the things I did, I used to swing the bag. I tell my students, okay, early training, Seafood Larry can attest. I used to have a heavy bag in old school. I would just pick it to a side and let it swing back and forth. And I said, now find your time and get the target hit straight. So that bag goes straight backwards. And a lot of times in the beginning, they would hit the bag, would still spin and turn. It would just go like that. But once they, through several practice, they actually can see the target and know how to time to get that strike into the target. And that's, it was a very good way of training my students. I would tell them, okay, I'm going to stand behind the back. I want you to kick. You got to be able to move me. If you can't move me, then you don't have enough power to do the damage. And they have to kick me and make me feel that impact go through the bag and into me. And if they didn't do it, then I was like, listen, you have to work on this. This is what we want to go on. I would focus on the power, and get them to practice doing that. So the heavy bag is very, very good.
Yeah, they can give you some feedback, definitely. So those are another good tool. And I know that there's apparatuses that you can get that go around them, or a wave bag, which is more stationary than that have the same setup like a Jong. Obviously, there's softer arms or whatever, but it's definitely a cheap solution for someone that can't afford a Jong yet, and also gives you another different way to train too. So those are some cool things that you can do. I'll actually find a link to one and make sure to put that in our Friday update for all of you. So I'll make sure to write that down. Bob says, CJ, next time we see each other again, have to spar with you. All right, brother, bring it on. I'm ready. He says it'll be me standing there while you kick my arse, but hey, it'll be fun. Hey, we'll even film it for you so you can have many years of enjoyment watching your arse get kicked, brother. So I love you. You're so much fun. Sorry, Tempa says thank you. And then Jeff says, can you go Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan.
Saiyan, sorry. Saiyan. I'm not into that.
I can't turn my hair blonde, but it is. I'm slowly turning it white.
So maybe in the near future, my name is Jeff. We'll let you know. So, and Bob says, woohoo. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with all of you and show you our video that it's already released. If you're on Enter Tai Chi and you're subscribed to that, make sure you do that. If you're not, those of you on Enter Shaolin's channel, make sure you get over there and get access to that, because we do put different videos on both platforms. So make sure if you haven't already subscribe to this channel too and give it a like and make sure to share on this video. But all right, I'm going to share this. I'm super excited about this. And I'll talk a little bit about the company that sent us these really cool umbrellas to be able to share with all of you that are tactical and obviously good for using as an umbrella. So that's nice too. It's not just a decoy. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. There we go. And make sure the sound is on. All right, we just put this video up. So you guys and gals are probably some of the very first ones to watch it. So this is one of the many videos that we're going to be putting out. We're working with a company called Security Umbrella that sent these to us to test out, and they are really, really awesome. So we have a really cool discount for our YouTube subscribers, and then we have an even more awesome one for our family members at Enter Shaolin. So I'll get to that in a moment. Enjoy the video.
The tactics you can use. We're going to talk about how to use the security umbrella and some of the tactics you can use. One of the best techniques, obviously, is learn how to attack with it, right? It's because defense is a waste of time. So we're going to teach you first how to control the umbrella, understand its physics and how to control it and use it to your advantage. Okay, if you're going to use the umbrella, one of the most important weapons is the tip, right? We can strike with it, but we're just going to talk about the tip today. The tip is a very good weapon because it can pierce, it can stab, it can create a lot of damage and deter your opponent from coming to attack you. Now, what you want to learn to do is, if you have the umbrella in your hand, you don't want to pick up from here. That's a lot of weight we want to pick up from. It also brings it towards the opponent that he can see it. It's not in attacking mode yet. So if he sees it, he can grab it and stop it. So we don't want that to happen.
Give me your clothes.
Okay?
I really want these
So
clothes.
what we want to do is we want to have our hands here and we want to draw the pressure backwards. Because if he came at me, I allow myself to be able to take a strong stance. So I want to step backwards and find the root. I also want to use that energy, draw back at the same time. So if he comes at me, now I can draw it up. And he doesn't have that. Plus I have two hands on, so even if he did grab, I have a better control. So now I can use and stab and everything like that. So I want you to practice doing this position. If you have your cane, like, listen, I don't want any problems, and you see, you step back and draw the hand towards the motion of your step, and that'll help you to bring up the umbrella very, very fast. If you do it like this and you try to do this, and you try to do this, you're going to find that this is much faster than going like this and try to bring it up in front. Plus, like I said, you're closing the distance, you're giving him the sign that he can to grab, he can push it away, because you didn't have a lot of energy, and you didn't have a lot of focused energy because of that. So we want to make sure that we are going to step backwards, to give us a safe play. Actually, if you came at me, I'm stepped away, I have that good base, and now I have control, plus I have my attack real quick. Okay? So this is what we call the stab jab technique. Okay? So I just want to step back, rotate the wrist with my hips, find the root, and then it's going to come up. And I have this steady, low, down, so it's hard. If I bring it up, high up like this, he can see it, he can grab it. So I want to keep it low here, and I have it low. So this way, if he came at me, it's hard for him to grab, because if he's going down too much, he's actually coming down towards the umbrella, which then gives me the hand side attack. But here, I have it low. So if he came at me, it's hard for him to actually see it, and hard for him to grab it, to counter, and I have the elevation, the angle which I need. So he can see it. It's very difficult. But like I said, if I'm going like this and trying to bring it up, I'm giving him the umbrella to take. Here, if he's trying to grab the umbrella or whatever, I'm moving away from him anyways. I'm not retreating mode. I'm in basically a structure mode to create my root, my power, and create my attack. I'm in the counter-offensive technique now. So I'm ready. I'm here. I have the position, and I create my jab. And I want to jab him quickly, very fast, very hard, so I can create that attack. So what we want to do is feel the hip turn, rotate the wrist using the floor if we want to, and just pivoting off that. When we do this, it's going to naturally bring up the umbrella. So I can just let it come up. And when I do that, I naturally come into this position, keep it tight. Everything wants to be tight on me. The more I'm away from me, the less control I have. Remember the rules. The further you go away, the more pushing power you have, but the less control you have. The closer you are, the less structure in terms of strength to push, to resist, but the more control you have. we want to have control first. Then we want to drive that into that power. So you can see what I'm doing. I'll do it slower. So when you see here, I step back, rotate, and I bring the hand up. All I have to do is just bring it towards my thigh, and it does it. So you can see the rotation of the wrist, the driving, the hitting up. That'll help me to create a pivoting point, catch it here. And again, I can stab. Now where you want to grab, that's just going to be comfortable where it is for you. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so if you were like here apart, that's fine. Just have to know how to drive together. If I'm here, I know how to drive together. So I want to create the position to create the attack. I'm in my root. I have my structure. I have my power. I should not be afraid of him attacking me because I want him to attack me. Because while he's trying to attack me, I am going to get my attack too. I'm going to create my counter. If you're thinking too much defense, like he comes at you, and you're doing like this, you're trying to match, you're not attacking. And so you're allowing him to put the pressure and take the attack on him. If he come at you again, now see how I'm in that root, now I'm in that drive, now he's in trouble. So we want that position. First step, rotate the wrist with the hip, get it to the thigh, draw it close to you, and then let him come to you. Let him do whatever if you can. He stabbed me! And it works, okay? So that's the first basic stab jab technique. Retreat, get the position in, find the root, and create the jab. Push with your wrist. Remember the 3 group? Push in, guide that, and you'll have them eat.
And you know something, Sifu? And with these umbrellas, this tip is actually a pretty solid tip. So it's blunt, but it still has stabbing power.
Especially when you know how to drive it behind with your wrist and everything. So if he puts his hand on the thing, so just put 2, no, grab so it doesn't hurt your palm. Yeah. So it's not about you doing this and just, it's getting that root, that base, getting my shoulder to the elbow, so then my elbow pushes, and you can see the amount of power.
And it helps to
generate.
These are special umbrellas, so it actually is very powerful. It's not going to break. It's
very solid. This is made for combat.
So
this is a combat umbrella. So it's not like this. Look. You see, I'm using my body. Instead, I use my body to drive to the base. And when you use it at high speed, it's not something you can catch.
Let's not try that.
Yes. So that's what we want to do. Like I said, sit, turn, base it off your thigh, come up, get that root, see how you're, and I just make a quick lunge jab. So if you want to practice like that, you can do that. Just practice here, lunge jab. Keep it tight. Feel the shoulder push the elbow push the wrist, and drive the wrist in, and then guide that with the right hand. And again, using the same concept, 3 proof. Keep everything tight to your body. Remember, it's not about how hard you stab, it's about how well you stab. You can do it lightly, as long as you have the point. Now, if I'm going like this, I'm stabbing where it's like this, I can lessen that impact. So we don't want to do that. We can wind up missing and kind of scraping. So the tighter you are to your body, the more power you have to create the stab.
When he pulls that in tight, it just feels like a solid.
It is solid. The more you go out, the more you let your arms go away, the more you let your arms flare or tilt your body or get your weight to push, you're doing it wrong. Get the ground, roots, sink, set everything in. So this is, if you have a partner, you can practice. This is how you can tell if you get your connection right here. You just set, let him grab it, and then just say, listen, don't let me do it. So I'm like, okay, then I'm doing it wrong. I want to sit down, sink the shoulders, connect everything in line, and use the shifting of my leg, my waist, and my wrist together, and you have the connection and the technique right. Okay? So, if you have any questions, any comments, we're here as always. Any questions?
Not yet.
Any comments?
Not yet. Actually, we're going to do another video for you. We're going to use a different kind of security umbrella.
The cane umbrella. This is the straight umbrella. Okay?
And they really are very strong.
It's actually, he's very weak.
I'm very weak. It's pretty strong. Good weapon. So you can club someone with it. Hey.
Or stab someone with it.
Again.
All right, family. So let's see here. Let me exit out of here. And so I know you guys can't see this. Steve Larry, you're going to want to fix this end screen thing because it's actually blocking the URL for people to see. I don't know if you can see that yet, but long story short, we partnered with Security Umbrella. They sent us both types of umbrellas. So you're going to see us use the cane style as well as the knob style and different applications, because they definitely have different things that you can use for them. But if you would like to get yours, you can go to entershaolin.com/security. I'll make sure to put that link in the description, in the chat, both of these for all of you. And if you are a YouTube family member, you can get 10% off with the coupon code Shaolin. So it's SHAOLIN. And if you are an Enter Shaolin member, light or above, email me at support@entershaolin.com, because I have a special coupon to get you 20% off for being one of our family members and helping us to be able to continue to do what we do, because we appreciate all of you. So it is really amazing. I'm super excited about this. Mainly because it's an everyday tool that you guys and gals can use and everything to be able to just bring with you. You can bring these on planes. They look like a normal umbrella, because they pretty much are. They're just made with special materials to make them, I won't say they're indestructible, but they're practically indestructible. We're going to be doing a lot more tests to show you guys and gals the different applications, and also a bunch of different ways to just, show just how strong it is. We'll stand on it so you can see, like, it's not going to break. I think it can hold up to a 250-pound man without busting, if I remember correctly. It's just really, really cool. It's a great tool. It's a great investment. And then for someone that needs a cane, what's really cool is they could definitely use this umbrella too, because there is that one with the cane style type of handle and everything, and you can utilize that as well. So I know we've had a lot of people asking us about the cane, and, can we do some stuff on that? So we will be showing you different applications on how to use this umbrella/cane, which could just apply if you just have a cane as well, obviously. So we'll be doing a lot more cool videos with that, as well as some more videos with the tactical pen. So again, if you are a YouTube subscriber, you can get 10% off with the coupon code Shaolin. If you are an Enter Shaolin member, light or above, make sure to email me at support@entershaolin.com so I can give you your special coupon code to get 20% off. And you guys and gals can get it at entershaolin.com/security. And we'll be doing lots more videos. So I hope you guys enjoy these. We love, when companies do send us these type of things for us to test out and share with all of you, to be able to give you some just cool tools and things like that you can have on you on a regular basis. Obviously a lot of people, say, well, if you can have a gun, but not every place can you have a gun, and not every place is open carry. So you need to also, besides using your mind as a weapon and your body as a weapon, it's also nice to know how to use other things that you might have on hand, like a tactical pen, or in this case, a tactical umbrella. So, all right, family. Right. So I don't see that we have any more questions. Let me just double check real quick. Bob says, woohoo. I can't wait for the video. Yeah. Bob says, I can't wait for the cane. Do they stop the rain too? No, but they stop the rain from getting on your head. Hi, that works. And they're big enough. I don't know about I think this is the normal size one, but they do have a city one, which is a little bit smaller and compact, I believe. But I know at least this full size one can easily shelter 2 people. And I've seen some other YouTubers do some tests on them, and crazy pressured rain, something you might have in a big storm or something, and wind, and they definitely stand up to the test of that too. So they're pretty cool. I definitely think it would have to be some severe wind to get this thing to buckle. It's not going to buckle on you in most high wind situations. So that's really cool. Bob says, always armed. Yes, you should always be armed in some way, shape, or form. And just, be aware of your scenario. Your first line of defense is your awareness and yourself. So let's see. Do we have any other questions on YouTube? Nope, looks like we're good to go. Oh, one more thing. Tomorrow I will be launching the registration page for our next seminar. I'm so excited. We've had a lot of hiccups just, since my mom passed away. It's just been really hectic, and Sifufu's schedule. He's been traveling a lot and stuff over the summer. So it was really difficult to get everything together, but we do have dates and everything, and I'll be releasing the registration page tomorrow. So we'll be providing an early discount for those that want to get signed up in advance. So there will be an early discount for that. The dates I will give you real quick are November 30th, which is a Friday, December 1st and 2nd. So the 30th through December 2nd. So that's a weekend, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And super excited to be able to get with all of you. So we'll do a video tomorrow to share more in detail what you can expect. It will be in Washington, D.C. area. So it's going to actually be in the same hotel that we had our first seminar at. We will have discounts for our attendees and stuff to get a discount on their room as well. So lots of cool things on board, but we'll be putting out a video tomorrow to give you guys and gals all the details so you can get signed up and, you know, all that good stuff. And for our ambassadors, we are looking at a way to be able to allow you guys and gals to be able to get credit if you refer someone to. So that way, if you have someone that you want to bring with you and get them to come on board too and do training with you, you'll also get a little bonus on top of that for bringing them to the seminar too. So just thought that would be cool. It's a little new addition that we didn't have the last two seminars. So we're always looking at how we can improve Inner Shaolin, not just for our ambassadors, but our family members, as well as our YouTube family too. So we always enjoy getting to spend this time with you guys and gals and hear your suggestions and your questions and be able to help you all out. So we're going to be live again on a Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to join us then. We will be hosting that on the Inner Tai Chi YouTube channel. So make sure if you're not a part of that to be subscribed to that channel as well, and we'll get to you there. Also, if you haven't become a member yet, you know, you come check us out. We do have a 14-day money back guarantee. You can go to innershaolin.com/join. Or if you just want to get some additional stuff besides what you see here on the site, as well as on YouTube and everything like that. We also have some special stuff on Patreon, which is just a way to, you know, help us grow a little bit more faster. You can get started for as little as $5 a month, and you get inside access to our training, my training, Steve Larry's training, Hector's training. You'll see some of our other family members and their training and stuff too as time goes on. So it's just really cool to help you be able to see like maybe some of the mistakes you might make in different scenarios, which will help you grow and perfect your own martial arts and Kung Fu. And you can check that out at patreon.com/Inner Shaolin. That's patreon.com/Inner Shaolin. There is a link below the YouTube video for those of you watching on YouTube, so you already have access to that. And then let me see here. I think that is it. All right, family. Let me go ahead and send over the link to you guys and gals real quick. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, Sifu, before we wrap up?
Yeah, please come to the seminar. We're going to focus on your combat, which is going to be towards your certificate, but we're going to focus primarily on getting the hits. So I'm going to focus on your power and your striking in this seminar. So if you want to learn how to improve your striking or know how to hit or when to hit, we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on just the offensive, initiative, preemptive, countering the attacks. So we're going to work a lot on that. We're going to do a lot of pressure tests to make sure you do it right. So when you leave, you know exactly what you're looking for and how to improve upon it. So I'm not just here to teach, give you a fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm not here to just say, this is how you punch, now practice. I teach you how to break it down so you understand. So if you want to teach someone, you can. That's the method in which we're going to go about doing it. So please come if you're watching and you're not sure. You're going to really love it. Anyone who has ever come to our seminar will attest to you how very informative it is, how very applicable it is, and how very efficient and effective it is. So you will not regret it. And it's at a low price compared to a lot of other people out there with names and seminars. It's a very good deal. I guarantee you'll walk out of there mind blown away. Never had I ever had to really teach anyone or demonstrate doing seminars where they were not blown away by what we do.
No, I can definitely say there's not been one person. We've had a couple of people in the past that were not sure if they were going to like the seminar. And then they came after I talked to them. I was like, look, you know, here's what to expect and stuff like that. They came, and we've never had a person regret coming to one of our seminars. And that's because not only is there amazing teaching, but there's amazing people that you get to meet and make lifetime connections with.
And the time that we train, it's not 3 days. You're thinking it's a lot more. If you think about how you train as a practitioner, let's say you go once, twice a week for an hour or two. You know, let's say you go 3 times a week to your school, and you're training for 2 hours. There's only 6 hours of training you got. We're going to put over 20 hours, right? Is it over 20 hours? I would say, like if we add up the weekends.
For the training, the actual training itself, I believe it is 14 or 15 hours for the VIP and about 12 for everyone else. But we've had people, here's the thing. We've had people like, oh, well, I went to a seminar and I trained for blah, blah, blah in 3 days. And they came to our seminar and they were like, my butt was kicked. I was whipped. Because there's some people that are like, there's no way I would be training until 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to train at 2 a.m. morning with how we train, brother. And sure enough, their butt was whipped at the end of our seminar. So it is concentrated training, but it's very in-depth. It's very physical. It can be very, very physical. Even our Tai Chi seminar, people were blown away about just how exhausted they were at the end of the seminar, because a lot of people, when they think Tai Chi, they're not going to think that they're going to be exhausted from Tai Chi. But it just goes to show you how different our training can be for you.
And I'm going to tell you why you can feel exhausted. I actually was just talking to my student today. I was just teaching him today. We were talking about why. He said, I do Tai Chi and I feel very, very tired when I'm done. I said, I know why you're tired and why you don't feel relaxed. It's because when people are learning what we do, they're fighting their old nature to go to do the new nature. And so there's a struggle between your internal and your external.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to cause you to drain both your mental state and physical. Because let's say you want to do a pull, you're like this with your shoulders. And I say, no, you got to do it like this, where it goes into your wrist and down. And so they're like, okay, I got to do it. They're forcing it rather than feeling and letting it out. And that's okay. I mean, it's a learning curve. That's how you have to do it. But that's why people come out like, man, that was a lot. I'm so tired from it, because you're actually learning how to do it right, but you're fighting to do it right because your old nature says to do it this way, and you have to force yourself to do it that way. Until that becomes natural, then it wouldn't be.
Oh yeah, there was lots of forcing going on, especially at our our No Dak Na seminar that we had, the first one. That's why there were so many bruises. I will say, guys and gals, start bone conditioning. I don't want to see no bruises all over the place. I'm going to call you out if you're not bone conditioning. Okay. So get your bone conditioning on. This seminar is going to be a hybrid of our last two. So instead of just having our No Dak Na and then a separate Tai Chi, there's going to be a combination of both of those. There's going to be some Wing Chun. There's going to be also some Qigong aspects in it as well. And it's really going to be geared towards the person that wants to be a well-rounded martial artist, but also to our people that are looking to get certified to become teachers and stuff like that. And it's going to be structured a little bit different this time. So the way we're going to have it is the first day on Friday is going to be just for VIP members only. So they get one full day of us working with them. And then the other 2 days is going to be for everyone. So VIP members plus everyone that's not looking to become a certified instructor in No Dak Na. So it's going to be set up a little bit different. But I think it's going to be more beneficial. I think especially our VIP people, it's going to be extremely beneficial for them to be able to have that one day to really get that one-on-one with us versus just a couple hours each day. So that's how we're going to have that set up. I'll have all the details for all you guys and gals tomorrow. I'm super excited about it. Go ahead.
And plus, we'd really love to meet you guys.
Yes. Yes,
you know, we really like to meet the people out there, and you're family with us. And so, instead of being a Facebook family, we really like to meet you guys as well.
Right, our YouTube fam. Yeah, yeah.
We have lunch together, we have dinner together, and it's just a great time. I love talking to people.
Yeah. And anytime we have extra time together, we train, though there's not much time for that, but we do make room for that and stuff. And people make connections. And we've had members that, when they travel to where they know someone else is at, they call them up and see if they can get together, have lunch, maybe do a little training and stuff like that while they're in town. So you're going to meet some really amazing people. The people that come to our seminars, they don't have chips on their shoulders. They're just here to learn and grow, and they'll help you as best as they can and vice versa. It's really good.
And if you did, it's okay. Come with a chip on your shoulders. Show us what you know. We'll show you what you don't.
Yes, and we'll help you brush that chip off your shoulder. Okay. So. Okay,
because we can test it. You can test all your theories and out against us. And like we had a girl who did Tai Chi for 12, 13 years, and she learned this move. When I did it to her, she was able to take people, throw them. When I did it, I grabbed her. She couldn't even move. And the reason why is because we don't go from our shoulders. Everyone's pulling from, so she was able to do it. But I put it to my wrist, and she was locked. She's like, I can't do it. I can't even move. That's because we go from the wrist. We don't pull from our shoulders. We drive to our wrist. Makes everything different. So a lot of these techniques are based on people fighting you by force. It will not work against us. because we will not fight you. We will convert energy. We will control the energy. We will not try to overpower it. We're not trying to overwhelm it. We're not get rid of it. We're going to utilize it to our advantage so we can put it back on you or against you.
Absolutely. So Bob says, Sifu's and CJ helped me even when I had to sit for over half of the training. I love the seminar so much. Only one I ever went to where, because of health problems, the Sifu's and CJs took the time to sit in front of me and teach me Sita. Yes, it doesn't matter where you're at. You know, Bob, you weren't at our first seminar, but one of our ladies was just not feeling good. I went and went to the hotel, found out what different herbal teas that they had. And I got the ones that I knew would help her with her migraine headache that she was having. And I made her a special tea. So we're all about, when we see your family, we're going to take care of you. So if you're having a health challenge or a physical challenge, we're going to make sure that you still get a ton of stuff, or we'll help, nurse you back to health if we need to as well while you're here. So absolutely. Oh, yep. And yes, I helped Bob's wife, Vicky, out. She was having some problems breathing and stuff. And I had some essential oils and I made her a special water that helped out with that too. So yeah, exactly like that. And then Scott says, is bone conditioning in the training hall? Yes, it is in the training hall. Under the core training section, you will see a module just specifically for bone conditioning. So way to think ahead, brother. All right. So,
and if you notice, by the way, see the background is different now. You don't see
I noticed.
You see the Vietnamese sung mai, it's called. That's made from eggshells.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Made out of eggshells, the whole picture thing.
That's insane. I like that. I always like when people repurpose things and make them into something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, family. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We definitely went a little overtime tonight. I hope you enjoyed getting to check out the security umbrella and all the different questions that came through. And I hope you guys and gals are just as excited as we are about our next seminar. We'll definitely put out a video tomorrow with more details and a way for you guys and gals to get pre-registered and signed up. So Alvin says, one love, family, one love, brother. Good to have you on. And God bless to you as well, Scott. Let me just make sure there's no one else going on there. Yeah, Tempa says, yo, nice background. All right, family. Have a great evening or day, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you on Friday. If you have any questions between now and then, email me at sportandShaolin.com and I'll take care of you. All right, everyone. Peace. Bye.